Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to an animation tutorial of our little gingerbread man. So before we've modeled him, you UV mapped him, textured him, and rigged him. Now he is ready to come to life in an animation. If you are new to this channel, I post tutorials on a weekly basis. Software I cover include Maya, ZBrush, and Substance Painter. So if that is your sort of thing, please consider subscribing. So bring out your creativity, open up that software, and let's go ahead and animate our little gingerbread man. All right, so what I did was basically take this set. I built this set. And if you guys are curious where I created this, it's in a previous tutorial where I talk about NURBS modeling. So this took me only a few minutes to create. The grapes you can find in Academic Phoenix Plus under download. So if you want to go ahead and create something similar and follow along, that would be awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference in my gingerbread man. Now, the reason why I'm referencing him instead of importing him is because I actually still want to make changes to the gingerbread man. So for example, I don't have any type of blend shapes, which is face expressions, and I'd like to add those. Now, the nice thing about referencing in is that I can actually make those changes, add those elements, and keep animating, and it won't affect the animation. So let's go ahead and reference in. We're going to go to File, Create a Reference, and I'm going to go to my rig done. And you'll notice that it did come with a dome, which was my mistake. I probably do not need that dome. And we also have our gingerbread man, which he is right over there. This is the master control. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. And I am going to rotate him because what I'm going to do is basically get this little guy to lie on this plate, and he's going to jump up and then run off. That's the idea. All right, let's make sure he's intersecting. Okay, so I'm going to grab the main control and hit S for keyframing, which is going to keyframe the translate, rev, rotate, and the scale at where it is. I'm curious what it's going to look like, so let's go ahead and render him. Okay, there it is. It took about 1:20 seconds, which isn't bad at all. And you can see my gingerbread man just fits perfectly into the scene. So super excited about that. Okay, now if we're making an animation, we want to talk about the establishing shot, right? So the establishing shot basically shows the environment. So I'm going to create a new camera. So create camera, and this is going to be I'm going to go look through it. So panels look through selected, or you can go to panels perspective, turn on your resolution gate, and basically set up your establishing shot. So the establishing shot usually means that you're demonstrating what is going on in the scene. Okay, we are in some sort of table, and I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and select my camera. So make sure you have that selected. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, hit the S keyframe, move over a couple, let's see, 3 seconds, or maybe 90 seconds or 90 frames, zoom in a little bit and hit S. So the effect is going to be that. Hit play. All right, looks good. All right, so what I usually do is call this scene 01, shot 1, and I like to put in the frame numbers. So it's going to be 00 through 90. Right, so when I'm ready to render, I know that this is the camera that's for the scene 1, that this is my shot 1, and that when I need to render something, it's going to be from frame 0 to 90. It's just an easier way for me to understand what's going to happen. All right, now that I have that, let me go ahead and I can duplicate it, Control D. This is going to be my shot 2. So make sure you're looking through the right camera. So middle mouse and drag this here, or you can go to panels perspective and go to scene 1, shot 2. And again, I'm just going to kind of place myself here because I want to zoom in into my character. So again, hit S, push forward. And then we can see the animation. Whoop. I'm not convinced by this one, so let me delete that and go backwards in time. So I want this to be my shot, and then I'm going to pull out. So S, and then I'm going to get this effect. Right? So that's going to be, again, 00 through underscore 56. So again, when I render this, I'm going to know, okay, this is the frames that I need to render. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this one again. This is going to be number 3. This is going to be my main animation. So let's go ahead and bring this in. And now we want to ask ourselves, what are we going to show? Well, I want this little guy to get up. So starting probably around 60. Well, actually, it's got to be past 90 because of the establishing shot. So let's make sure that this frame hits around 91. So let me type that in here, 91. Then we'll see how long the animation is going to take. I'm going to take this slider and move it to the left. And I'm probably going to need more frames, but at least I know that this is where my animation is going to start, which is 91. There we go. All right, let's grab the controllers. Now you can see that I'm accidentally grabbing everything, and I really don't want to grab my geometry. So let's grab the geo group. I'm going to create a new display layer, and this is going to be my, I'm going to double click, and this is going to be my environment layer. Right, so again, I just don't want to accidentally keep selecting it, right? Because it's going to cause problems. Okay, great. So now I can select everything like this, no problem. Let me make sure that light is in there. So I'm going to add selected object. So right click on your environment layer, add selected object, which is the light. So now I shouldn't be able to select it. Okay, great. So around 91, I'm going to hit, deselect that one, hit S. And now it's time to get this make this guy stand up. So I'm going to grab these guys, which is the spine, kind of curl him up a little bit, curl him up a little bit more, maybe. And then again, you can select everything but the main one and then hit S. So the effect is going to be whoop. And let me see if I can curl this one a little bit more. There we go. So that's going to be whoop. Now I haven't done any overlapping or anything. Now I want him to move his head left to right. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and look to the left, which it kind of looks like he's looking at the camera. So maybe more like this. Hold it for a second, a couple frames, and then I want him to go the other way. Right? So he's going to get up, look to the right, look to the left. And I want him to kind of hold that position for a second. So again, I'm going to select everything but the main one. I mean, you can animate the main one. It's just there's no point to it, though. And then he's going to jump up. I'm going to grab the main control, and I'm actually going to rotate this back to 0. Keyframe that. And then all the other controllers can be zeroed out as well. So all this is going to be zeroed. The head's also going to be zeroed. Make sure this one's zeroed out as well. All right. Whoop. So he's going to go whoop. And let's take a look at it in perspective. I'll change the camera in a second. Let's see how it looks like from the very beginning. And if you want to, you can actually hide the Gingerbread controller. Whoops, controller. So very simple. This is the perspective camera. Looks up, jumps up. All right, let's make sure that we've got this too. So he's gonna get up. I just want to make sure that I actually capture him completely. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Let me make sure I'm in the right frame. Now let's see the whole thing. All right, it's coming along. He's going to move forward. He's going to have one leg that's going to move forward. His pelvis is also going to move forward. But his head is not, right? So it's all about balance. And this one's also balanced. So let's make sure that, and again, he's a fictional character, so he can probably get away with a lot. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. All right, so he's moving forward. Let's do some overlapping animation. So overlapping just means that when the character is standing up, he shouldn't be standing up at the same time. He should probably be moving one after the other. Usually the first thing that moves is the spine one, then the next one, and then the next one. So I'm going to grab all of these guys. I'm going to double click, and then I'm just going to slide them to the right by 2 frames. Then I'm going to deselect spine number 2. Then grab these frames and move those 2 more. Then deselect, double click, and then move these 2 more frames. So the idea that is one starts, the other one starts, and then the other one continues. So it's a nice, and I talk about that in my introduction to rigging class about at the very end, I show how to do overlapping animation with the tail. It's kind of like the same thing. Up, looks around, gets up. And I think what I'm going to do is as he's moving his foot forward, I might actually move this forward too. Let's see if that does anything. So again, very subtle, simple. And I actually want this action to be a little faster. So what I'm going to do is grab these. So the closer the animation is, and let me give myself a couple more frames here. The closer the frames, the faster the action. So I'm going to grab these by holding down Shift, click and drag, and just kind of move these closer. And I always recommend that you right click and then snap, because there are like, it's not 1, 2, 3. There's actually like 1.1, 1.2. So to snap it, it will actually snap it to a frame. And let's see if that goes a little better. Oop. There you go. So let's watch it from the beginning. Here he goes. Actually, let's hide the controllers. Oops. Huh. Rewind. There he goes. Looks around. Up he goes. All right. So, whoop. And I think around frame 182, I wanted to stop. So I'm going to put 182, and that's where the animation is going to end. I know there's a little bit more animation to it, but I'm going to actually cut it off because now I'm going to duplicate this camera. Middle mouse and drag. This is going to be shot number 4. Probably starts around 184 or 183. Let's make sure I'm looking through it, and let's move it. And I want to see this little guy run off the, like basically just jump out of the table. So I'm going to take this shot here. And just to make sure, panel's perspective here, panel's perspective here. And usually what you want to do is put the shot in when you cut, because everyone's looking here. You want to make sure that the next shot, the character's in a similar place, so it's easier for the eye to transition. So I'm probably going to put it around here. I'm going to add a keyframe to the camera just because I'm worried that it's going to move. And there's a couple of things you can do. We can move the main controller. We can grab the pelvis and feet and make sure to grab the knees. And we can just leave the main controller there. And I'm just going to basically place the character. Ooh, I need to push these forward because it's starting to bend my knee really strangely. So let me just make sure these are forward. And actually, I might delete these keyframes because I don't need them. Let's delete those because they're actually in the same spot the whole time. All right, and then we can grab the knees, the feet, the pelvis, and basically, let's go to perspective view. My little character is gonna end up here, end up in the air, and then down he goes. So I'm kind of working on my timing here. So let's see what that looks like. Whee! It's a little slow, but let's see what it looks like in our camera. Now again, I'm working between 183. So let's change this to 183 down here at the bottom left. There we go. So then I can see the whole animation. Right, so it kind of disappears. So that means that I need to make sure that my camera is in a better position. So let me just move this a little bit. Make sure I select my camera. Hit S. All right, let's see how it looks like in this camera. Whee! Okay, so it's too fast when he goes through here, but I like the timing of the jump, so I just have to move a couple things. So let me once again grab the controllers. Let me actually get two views here. Panels, perspective, perspective. Panels, perspective, the camera that I'm shooting with. And the pelvis. Yep, just making sure I got them all. And let's see. So this is too fast. So let me grab this one. And let's take a look at it with timing wise. We might want to go a little faster. So let's kind of crush these together by shift selecting this whole thing and then bringing them, bringing this arrow closer together. And then again, don't forget to snap. Let's see if that timing's better. Whee! Okay, I like that timing. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get this little guy to start running. Let me save. All right, this is going to be a pretty fast animation. We've got him running. I know I've got his foot moving forward. So I'm going to grab that foot and I think I want to rotate it a little bit. There we go. Oop. Make sure I'm in the right frame. Okay, I'm going to put this one back here. This one's going to go forward. I'm going to make sure this one goes pretty far. Hit those two keys, S. This one I'm going to bend. This one's going to go forward. And then this guys will just be zeroed out. Oh, maybe not. I just want these guys to be basically in the same spot. So all right, let's see what that looks like. And I'm going to keep tweaking the animation. All right, after tweaking some animation, I now have this going. So here we are. Whee! Not the best animation, but hopefully it gets the idea. I already have a light set up and everything, so let's see what a quick render looks like. So I can already see that it's looking really cute, but it's blown out. So that probably means I'm going to have to make some alterations with the brightness of this. So it's going to go from shot to shot. So it's going to probably get not that dark, but I'm probably going to make some adjustments on the lighting so that it looks, that the focus should be on the gingerbread man. So I think that's a good place to stop. Let me bring back the little gingerbread man as he's about to jump out. There he is. But it is really cute that he just kind of runs off here. Whee! Freedom! Very cute. All right, I think that's a good place to stop. The next video tutorial is going to be to actually start rendering it and also learning about cameras, how to do depth of field, motion blur, and so much stuff. It's going to be super fun. If you learned a thing or two, please like and subscribe to this video. That is your message to me, letting me know that you like this content and that you want to see more. And of course, it helps my video go up the little chain of the YouTube logarithm. So please like, subscribe, and share. When you get a chance, take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. There you will find free downloads such as 3D models, references, ebooks, and so much more. If you want to support me further, then you can always purchase an e-course or two. That's another great way of supporting me and helping me produce more content like this. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. I am looking forward to the next video tutorial where we're going to start learning how to render and making a really short animated film. I will see you next time.